Alrighty, we're at 7 o'clock. I'll give some time for people to come in. Oh, nice. We got people coming.
Hello.
Hey, Javier. How's it going?
Pretty good. How you feeling?
Pretty good. Yeah, I rescheduled a couple times. I got sick. So I had to I pushed it out like twice.
Hope it was nothing serious.
I hope not. Had me out of commission for almost a week. The last week we did the button. I think we got into the data persistence. I'll run it real quick.
Yeah, we were supposed to do that.
So that's working. Yeah, it looks like we got the shared preferences in from last time. Check the GitHub real quick. I think I posted it in the chat here. Yep. Yeah, we did get to shared preferences.
Yeah, okay.
I think the only difference is we had an issue where when we went back to the home screen, where it wasn't updating unless we restarted the app. What I changed was this line, passing a Boolean true. Then back at the list screen,
Mine's running on Samsung tablet.
when we push to the add view and then come back, we reload the results. And that was the only difference. Oh, in a few minutes. I guess it's just us two for now.
Yeah, Carol, a friend of mine, was supposed to join, but to that a prior meeting.
Oh, no problem.
So listen, Carol, she's gonna try next.
It's recorded anyway, and then I'll share the new week's code.
Okay, I'll share it with her. Yeah. It's part of my Slack channel.
Since we got the shared preferences in already, a little bit ahead, so I'm going to go over Flutterfire.
Okay.
So Flutterfire is a tool to help you integrate with Firebase. Pretty simple setup. All you have to do is download this command line tool and then log into your Firebase and then go to your Flutter project and run the Flutterfire configure. And it'll pretty much add everything you need to add Flutter to your project. So here's my VS Code. I'm in my project folder. such as Flutter Fire configure. Flutter Fire not found. Oh, give me a second. Probably have to reinstall it. Now if I run it again, there we go. And then this will be a new project because I don't think I have this app on here. I'm going to create a new Firebase project. It's going to be called List App. Oh, it's not unique enough. All right. Project. Oops. Step dash Flutter. Hopefully that's unique enough. This should create the Firebase files on here. We're doing iOS, Android, we'll do all the platforms. It's not a problem. The build files. Perfect. So then it created our Firebase options file. So this would basically tells it what configuration to use depending on what platform we're using, and then uses our Firebase keys for our project. And then it also gives us an example of how to use it. So we need to import this into our main. And then initialize it. Up here. Comment. This is just async. And there we go. And then to test out if this got set up correctly, we can go to your Firebase console, find the app. Here's our application, and then we are going to use the Firestore database. It's created, do it in test mode. Collection created. And let's try to rerun our app just to make sure the Firebase is set up properly. Still going to continue using Chrome. Okay, nothing broke there. That's good. Now we want to save our data onto a database in Firebase instead of having it saved into our shared preferences. So when we restart the app, we can reload the data. Flutter Firebase save to Firestore. See. Go into our save. We're saving our stuff to share preferences. And we want to change this. Just import. What is the import for this? Yeah. Add the Firestore package. That was missing. Does not tell me what the import should have been. Let's see. Pick it up. There we go. In the Firestore instance, connection ideas, and then we need to write to this should save the text with the timestamp. Let's give that a try. Text and string together preps isn't defining class. But really, Firebase, any errors? Don't see any errors. Let's check Firebase, refresh. And we have a working database. Nice. So we're able to save to the database, but we need to load the data also. List gets added here. Now we should be able to load the data back on the list screen instead of loading it from the shared preferences here. We need to copy the same imports. So we need the Firebase Cloud Store. Go to the shared pref. Do the same thing. Create a reference to the ideas collection. And Yep, query. Set the states. What's the issue here? This dynamic cast. Dot text as string. Cast it as a string. Because the error was telling us that it was a dynamic type and we're trying to assign it to a string array. And now, anytime this page loads, we're going to call the Firebase instance, check the ideas collection, get everything in that collection, map through it, add it to a list, and then it'll send into the list array of strings and load into the list screen. Let's see. This works. It should load in the previous stuff we added. Did not load our stuff. Let's see. Try to debug this. Why is it not loading? Let's see. No errors. Oh, there we go. Probably caching issue. Cool. That was pretty simple. Now we have our list app. We connect it to Firebase, Firestore. You can see our data. Um, what else do you think I should do?
Sorry for that. Delete Charlie, maybe.
Yeah, we can do a delete. Let's see. Delete. We're going to need to add a tap on the card. Then we could probably do something where I guess we ask if you want to make sure you want to delete it or not. And if it deletes it, we'll just remove it. And then to delete in Firebase, we have to pass the identifier for the document. So we're going to have to change the type also. Because right now, the cards only hold the string data, which is the text in here. So I guess let's start with that. The list screen. We want to change this array here. Let's see. Just gonna change the typing. And then back here where we ran into the error, this is going to be documents. This is actually going to be an object. The object is the text. Else do we need? At the text, but just the document text key. And we need the ID. And then the doc ID. So now each idea has a text and it has the ID of the document. Then now down here, you have to use the key value now. ID of the text. Then we need to add the on tap on the card. the best way to do this. We actually want to make the whole card clickable. Let's see. That's what I want to try to do, but I want to keep the card into the list tile. I'm going to wrap the card into an inkwell. And we have our on tap, and we keep our card. I think this would work. Let's see how this looks. Tap on it, and deletes the item. We see it removed from here. Let's make this a little more intuitive. We wanted to ask us if we want to delete or not. So we can change this on tap code. Dialog pop up. Do we want to sure you want to delete the idea? Delete, cancel. Wait, if we don't use it, I think we need the boolean there. Let's try it. Tap on one, object, delete. No, delete it. Did it delete? Not deleting it. Oh, okay. So which text button is this one? This is the on press for the delete, and the other one's the on press for cancel. Okay, so I needed to pass that boolean at the top here. After the dialog's done, I want to create a little function. If delete equals true, then we want to delete the idea. Get out, retry, delete. It got deleted there, but it didn't refresh the page. So after we delete something, we want to remove the idea. We can reload the ideas, or load ideas will just reload the page. Which is fine. But a smarter way to do this would be, instead of having to reload all that data again, we can update the state and just remove it from the array. And instead of reloading the data from the database to make an extra database call, we can just delete it off the memory, what's here. And small things like that is when you're running production apps, because each time you make a call to the database is a cost. The cost isn't high, but it adds up if like 100 people are reloading the data all the time.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah. So for the free stuff, they give you 20,000 and 20,000 writes, 50,000 reads free. And then once you go over that, they'll start charging you. And then you go into the whole pricing thing, which is really cheap. They charge what, 10 cents for 100,000, which is not too bad. I think it's cheaper on the US side, like US East. Okay, so it's 1 cent on the US side.
That's it.
Yeah, most apps, if they don't optimize how they're reading and writing data, um, server costs could add up a lot really fast. It also slows down the app a little bit, because if you're constantly reloading data that isn't really relevant, or you can get rid of it on your front end here without having to refresh the database, it saves you data network wise. So if you're unlimited data, um, it makes the app a little more responsive, so you don't have to wait for that reload, and it just saves you money in general.
It might be a good idea to cache some of the data.
Yeah.
Oops.
All
Since
right.
we're
So
in the CRUD functions, about updating is it's pretty much just kind of the same thing like you did deleting. Similar.
sorry, it's a little hard to hear you. Can you repeat your question?
No, I say updating the data is a similar uh, process.
Yeah. So you want to update something from the list. So instead of deleting, you want to do an update. Um, yeah, we have time. I think I can do an update. So with that, I think we just add another action button. So we have cancel, delete. Let's add just the array for the button. Updates. Then I change what the results are. I think so. or did I set the should delete? So change this. Since I'm having an extra option, I think I'm just gonna do a string. Regular action string. Then do you want to delete, edit, or delete? You have our button. I can say there. This, I think I can put a string here. And then do the same thing here. So that's going to update. Anytime we press on the buttons, it should update what the action is. And we can just change up the if else condition. This is if it's delete. And we need the edit part. Else if update.
Sorry about that. I clicked on the wrong button.
No problem. So get the update part. Let's see. We want to update it. String. Um, Material page routes. I want to pass back the idea back to our text input screen. Right. Let's see. Then create states. Not the class. Right, some here. Let's see. Label with it. That state method. That state isn't defined in superclass. There's text strike written in the existing method. Oh, in here. No. The text. Okay, so if there's existing idea, I'm going to set the text to the idea. Okay. And then now we need to edit the save because we have an add and an update. So we have our reference to the database that we want to check if I'll do the null pattern first, which is going to be if we don't have an existing idea, we want to add an idea in the box. Else, update the idea. Okay. Then there. Now we change the tap on the card to edit and delete. Then we updated the text input screen to handle both creation and updating. And then updated both Firebase actions. Let's see. Right. Text input screen is in this bind for class. So I need to import text input screen. Back here. That was existing idea. Else if update, update it, push the next page. And then I think we have another case. It does not come up. Hmm. This is already pushing. the string, oh god, string dynamic. Oh, okay. So don't even add string there. Let's save. Okay. So we can see that working.
Awesome.
Updates. We also got the updated time. The only thing is it's not popping back to the previous screen. What did I forget? Popbacks here. All right, that fixed it.
That's awesome.
And that updates up here. Wow. This is coming together pretty well.
Cool. I think that's it for tonight.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty
You
good
really like
amount. So
three
we got
three
the
features.
add, update, and delete. I think that's pretty
Read
good.
it. Read also only thing.
Yeah.
So that should be easy to read. Put in the game. Awesome. You got to record this because I got stuck creating the project. But I managed to create it. It was just keeps telling me, oh, the name, you cannot use my name because it's already accessed. So, but I got
Yeah.
the file set up.
Yep, it's recorded. I think next week I'm gonna show how to deploy it to the web so it can become a web
Okay.
application. Yeah, I have a Flutter app. Um, work. Yeah. So this is a Flutter application. I built that and deployed it to the web. It's pretty much using the same thing. You're saving a list to Firebase. They're all lists here. I added more buttons where you can pop up to open up the website.
When you put in for an API or that's information you have.
So some of these are loading from a JSON file, and then some of them are APIs I built out. A lot of it's just manually loaded data. For some reason, it doesn't work on the web too well, but on the mobile side, it loads properly. Then I added like more complex lists with drop downs and expand.
That's pretty cool.
It's really basic right now, but later on I'm just gonna add on to it. But it came up from the same idea for this tutorial where it's just a bunch of lists with data, and each list shows something different. So pretty much anyone can make something like this, where if they want to make like a tour guide app for their city or somewhere.
Yeah. Keep track of the things around the city.
Yeah. All right,
You got
man.
got a calendar too over in the corner, right? Bottom?
Um, yeah. Give me a second. I'll show you the app. It doesn't work properly on web. It's made for mobile, but I have it saved here. Let me see if it runs on. Will it run in Mac OS? Never tried building it in Mac OS before. No. Okay. Give me a second. I'll just join this meeting on my phone. I have it installed. Days of Flutter. Join.
Yeah, it definitely looks better on the mobile. That was pretty cool. It definitely looks, yeah, it definitely looks better.
Yeah, it loads better on the phone. I'm trying to get it working properly on web. It just there's a few things where things load differently on the browser versus it does on the phone. But other than that, I think it's pretty cool where you can start off from a small list app and then learn to build out bigger apps using pretty much the same thing and just change how the list looks, either adding a picture, more buttons. All right. Thank you for coming.
No problem, right? We'll see
It's
if we
not.
can get Carol to come next time.
Yeah.
She happens to live in Orlando, Ocala too. And
No
yeah,
problem.
she's looking. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of my fault too because I rescheduled it twice, so I think a lot of people dropped out.
Yeah,
But I
they,
think
they told
yeah, once they see the update on the website, I'm pretty sure it'll come back next week.
yeah. Well, no, yeah, no problem. I mean, I'll keep an eye on the.
Yep. Thank you.
Talk to you later then.
Yeah.